Hi, my name is Alice Nyonghuru from Burundi.
Hi, I'm Janine Ampulire from Rwanda.
Hello, my name is Avertin Zoe. I'm from Republic of Congo.
Hi, my name is Steve Zita from DRC.
Hi, my name is Carl Kupachi. I'm from Central African Republic.
Vit Malal from South Sudan.
Ce programme a été rendu possible grâce
I'm a social entrepreneur who started from the scratch, but I had a dream of being a big entrepreneur and the most vibrant change maker.
The problem with embarking on a new path is that it can be a little bit overwhelming because you have a structure, but you don't really know if it's the best method, if it's the best plan, and you really need a mentor, a coach who has been there, who can really guide you through it.
Through the Mandela Washington Fellowship, it managed to shape me on how best I can achieve my goals and even go beyond.
Et donc, ce plan de développement professionnel qui constitue un canevas pour moi m'indique à chaque fois où est-ce que je suis par rapport à mes objectifs et qu'est-ce qui n'a pas été fait et qui doit être fait afin d'atteindre ces objectifs-là.
Founding my own organization and being a director and be able to manage it at this level is really something that I never thought I would do. But I was motivated and inspired, and the self-realization in me that I'm able to do this helped me achieve all this. So as much as our fellows have done significant projects and changes in their communities and on themselves, we recognize that there were so many social barriers as one of the challenges that they faced, and these were from the different communities in which they live. For example, the opinion leaders who did not understand why they were doing certain projects, or in some cases where they are working with women and women are not necessarily supposed to take on certain roles in the communities in which they live.
Another blocker we found was job insecurity. Some fellows lost their job before the program. And we can also see that lack of fund was a blocker because many fellows have not found to start a project.
Some blockers our fellows have expressed were limited networks in the fact that they had ideas but didn't know who to turn to implement them, but also limited skills, as I have the will, but I don't know how to do it.
One of the main barriers the fellows experienced before the fellowship was fear and a lack of confidence in regards to implementing some of the skills they had. So So after this fellowship, having things like speaker travel grant and participating in the general fellowship, they gained more courage and they were able to do some of the things that they were not able to do before the fellowship.
So as we were talking to the fellows, most of them kept highlighting how the leadership development plan has been an enabler for them to implement the projects or the businesses or the ideas that they had. And for many reasons, most of them highlighted that the ability to identify an essential question and the ability for the leadership development plan to help them strategize with putting long-term goals, short-term goals, and then putting activities that will help them achieve their long-term goals or their idea was really key in helping them achieve whatever they managed to do in the last 1 year. So this has been a very important enabler to most of the fellows, and it has supported them to take their businesses or their projects to the next level.
Many fellows in our interaction mentioned Regional Advisory Board as an enabler into what they're doing, mostly an inspiration. They got inspiration from fellow members, but also the RAB became a source of information for them.
And another enabler we saw from the fellows is that the grants they received, both from USAID and the seed grants from the different embassies and the Alumni Innovation Fund, helped them to be able to scale either their businesses or start new initiatives and to continue on their different vision and goals.
We have also observed that many change among our fellows that result of the mentorship that impact their personal development, their community work, and also in their job.
One of the most significant changes actually reported by fellows is the skills that actually they gain. The skills in writing reports, the skill in doing project evaluation and monitoring, the skills in actually speaking and communication.
One of the changes that we found was that a lot of the fellows experienced a changed leadership perspective, where they had one idea in their mind until after the program where they were influenced to think in another way in terms of leadership. We also found that some were able to lead others into gaining more leadership skills. So we saw a little bit of change in the leadership influence aspect.
Some of the main changes we found in our fellows was personal growth, where they said that they grew as leaders, but also a clear action plan. Some fellows now knew what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go, and actually taking action, put in action what they decided to do.